All right, everyone, the next wave of the Mueller bullshit report, basically the giant fucking farce of the country, has begun. House Judiciary, all Republicans voting against this, and I'll weigh on that separately, voting to subpoena the Mueller report, which means the House wants to have a look at the full report. I guess this is formally requesting that Barr deliver that. Go a fucking ahead and give it to them. What's going to happen is that all the Democrats in the committee are going to skew words and spin it and try to read into it more than it is in order to appease their fan base. And they're going to fail, but they're going to drag it on and make it sound good so that all of the Democratic partisans won't jump ship, realize what a hatchet job the whole fucking thing was, and what a fucking waste of money it was, and they're going to try to prevent the hemorrhaging of their own party as the result of that. Now, all of the GOPers on the committee voted against, and I don't know how wise that was. Trump has already come out and said, go ahead and release it all. And it is a bluff, and I'll tell you why it's a bluff. All sides right now are bluffing. The Democrats know that the public is not going to get the full report. The Republicans know that House Judiciary would only get a redacted version of the full report. They can subpoena all they want. There are certain rules under the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment regarding privacy. The government cannot unilaterally begin looking into this legal matter and get divulged to them all of the information on people that were actually investigated. Because the problem is most of those people were charged with no crime. They were never even suspected in many cases. It's just people that were questioned or looked into pertinent to an investigation of others. Like, for instance, let's say that you think that Manafort has laundered money with the Podesta Group. Okay, well, you need to look into the Podesta Group's filings and stuff. You are going to see personal information on Podesta, on employees, managers, and shit like that will be otherwise confidential. You have to encounter it in order to investigate, but you can't just simply divulge that to the public as part of disclosure. It involves other private citizens who have not been charged with a crime. That would be illegal. The government can't do that. And so the problem is everyone right now is bluffing. When Trump says, yeah, release it, totally unredacted, release the whole fucking report, I don't care. I'll tell Barr to do it myself. He can't, though. He would be violating the Fourth Amendment. He would be violating the rights of certain U.S. citizens. In fact, a very large number of U.S. citizens that are not technically they never were part of the investigation to the extent that they were blamed for any wrongdoing. Like, they weren't blamed for laundering money or election collusion or anything. Or even tax evasion. That's the other thing. It was very funny to see them briefly jump on the Trump evaded taxes, committed fraud and stuff. You're not going to get him on tax evasion. The dude probably, if he's smart, and he seems to be, he probably paid more than he owed most of the time. I probably have too. Trust me, in case of an audit, I would rather have paid more than I owe and get a little bit of money back. They investigate, say, oh, well, he filed a little bit too much. He didn't make 1,000 in crypto. He only made 950. Trust me, if you're smart, if you're making any amount of money at all, just go ahead and fucking file for more than you actually owe. Does it sting? Yeah, but at least your ass is covered in a legal sense. Get a good lawyer, too. Trump didn't evade his fucking taxes. He'd be a lunatic. Dude, when you're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, you think he misses a few million fucking dollars? He pays more than that. His cost for lobster in a year is probably greater than the amount you're talking about. He doesn't give a fuck. And as far as obstruction of justice, it's like Barr has said, and it wouldn't have mattered if it were Barr or an Obama appointee. It wouldn't matter if Jimmy Carter was the attorney general. They're going to say, look, it's going to be kind of hard to prove obstruction when the basis for that allegation, by Schiff and by others, is mean tweets. The President of the United States cannot obstruct justice by saying that the probe is a witch hunt unless the probe has already nailed him, in which case, yeah, you can go forward, you can say that. But if the case never turned up any wrongdoing, if the investigation leads to no charge of Trump or his campaign, and no real compelling problem arises for that, what's been obstructed? An investigation was obstructed by a tweet? It didn't stop Mueller from doing his fucking job. It didn't stop Rosenstein from doing whatever he wants. The president doesn't have that power. A tweet does not cause obstruction. In no way, shape, or form. I mean, a threatening tweet like, hey, if you continue to investigate, I'm going to chop your head off. Okay, that'd be one thing. It's not what he did. He was calling it a witch hunt. Well, that's an opinion. That's protected speech, dude. He's not breaking any laws by making that claim. He can say it all day if he wants, especially now that the probe is over. He can say whatever he wants. House Judiciary will get a redacted copy of the report that they'll look into. And what'll probably happen, here, prediction. The Democrats will say, well, it's been too redacted. The AG is dragging his feet. He's taking too long. He didn't give us enough material. They'll complain and complain and complain every step of the way. It's by design. They're not actually looking for collusion. They know that there's no evidence of collusion. They know that the report cannot bring Trump down. The only thing left that they have is to drag it out and make it look bad by spinning it to their fans. I don't know how well that'll work with centrist America, so-called centrism. Well, you call it centrist, I call it desperate authoritarian with Stockholm syndrome. No, but give the House Judiciary whatever they want. And I don't know why the Republicans voted against it. Look, Trump has already told you he does not care. I don't think that he's bluffing. No, I don't think he's bluffing at all. I think that he knows the whole thing was nothing more than obstruction of his agenda to begin with, and he is laughing right now. He's guffawing hysterically because he actually comes out of this looking clean as a whistle. If you are investigated by the FBI for 2 years to the tune of $30 million, with a carte blanche FISA warrant signed by the deputy AG that basically allows his lackeys to look into every aspect of your life, your family's life, every confidant's life, going back to your childhood, if you are investigated like that for 2 years, and not one bit of compelling evidence of any form of significant crime is found, you are a very, very clean individual. Like, if they looked into you, what do you think they would find? Look, if they looked into me, they'd say, oh yeah, he did drugs years ago. Well, yeah, broke the law at the time now, didn't it? Of course, statute of limitations takes that off the table, and I don't do anything now in full disclosure, but I did. Yeah, if I had been investigated by the government a few years ago, yeah, they could have gotten me on drug possession charges or something. Of course they could have. Not necessarily the most major crime in the world. It's not the same as, like, millions in tax evasion or colluding with a foreign state to usurp democracy. But it's still a charge. And they would still find that, and it would be part of the report. Yeah, we can't charge him for it because, it's outdated or something, but he broke the law. He did LSD or something. It's self-explanatory. Have you not broken the law? Which among you is without sin on that one? I think what's the old saying? Show me the man, I'll give you the crime, or something like that. Everyone's broken the law. Most of them many, many times. A lot more significant than that. Most assaults don't get reported. Cases of theft, a lot of them don't get noticed or reported. Stuff like that. Perverts and weird shit. It happens all the time. Millions of people commit crimes every day. There's so much bureaucracy. The legal system is so dense. You probably break the law all the time without even technically realizing it. Hell, even professionals, you lawyer up, you get the accountants and everything, you still probably run afoul of all sorts of zoning ordinances and bureaucracy, fucking red tape. So, if you look into somebody enough, if you're willing, if the legal system has been weaponized, and there is a true witch hunt, and they're simply gunning to destroy your agenda for a few years, yeah, they can find all sorts of stuff. The fact that they didn't find anything on Trump, honestly, is astonishing to me. I'm surprised. I would be surprised. The Mueller report, when they unredact, they'll say, yeah, Trump used to jaywalk all the time in New York City. He used to walk across the road. He didn't even look at the lights. He's a bad man. Very cold-blooded. That's about all. Peace out.